Here's something worth thinking about. Most people go through their entire lives chasing a single calling. They journal, they reflect, they take every personality quiz they can find, asking themselves, what am I actually meant to do? And then there's you. Your situation is the exact opposite. Too many interests, not too few. You want to pick up guitar, launch a podcast, crack digital marketing, maybe learn a code, and you've had that photography course sitting in your cart forever. Oh, and that blog you've been about to start for the past 2 years? Yeah, that's the real issue, isn't it? People slap labels on this. Multipotentialite, scanner, Renaissance soul. They dress it up like it's some rare gift. But honestly, most days it doesn't feel gifted. It feels like standing in front of a massive buffet with 100 dishes, loading up your plate with everything, and tasting absolutely nothing the way it was meant to be tasted. I've lived this. I've abandoned more half-finished courses than I can count. I personally went through phases of machine learning, web development, graphic design, e-commerce, digital marketing, and more YouTube channels than I care to admit. At some point, I genuinely believed there was something fundamentally wrong with me. Maybe I was just lazy. Maybe I was wired differently in a bad way. But here's the realization that changed everything. And I mean this sincerely. It'll save you years of going in circles. You don't have a passion problem. You have a strategy problem. The real issue nobody's talking about. The entire system we live in was built for specialists. School, career paths, every success story you've ever heard. They're all structured around people who pick a lane and drive it to the end. Become a doctor. Become an engineer. Choose your path. Commit to it. Master it. That's a perfectly fine model if that's how your brain operates. But what if yours doesn't? When you're wired for multiple interests, the system doesn't just fail to support you. It quietly convinces you that you're the problem. So you try to play along. You pick something. Let's say it's graphic design. You go hard. You're deep into Photoshop, grinding tutorials, building sample projects, feeling like you're finally doing it. Then, a few months in, something else catches your eye. Video editing, copywriting, investing. Whatever it is, it feels alive and exciting. And suddenly, graphic design feels like homework. So you pivot, and the cycle starts over. Here's what's actually happening, though. The issue isn't that you have too many interests. The issue is that you've been treating every single one of them like it needs to become your career. That's the trap. You've internalized this idea that every interest must scale into something massive. Every hobby deserves a revenue stream. Every skill needs to define you. And when you can't go all in on just one, you feel like you're failing. But there's a completely different way to frame this. Here's the strategy. It's straightforward, but it works. Step 1. Stop trying to pick one thing forever. I know, that's the opposite of what everyone keeps telling you. Niche down. Focus is your superpower. But be honest with yourself. You've tried that. How'd it go? You were working against your own wiring. It's the equivalent of telling a retriever not to fetch. You might get some short-term compliance, but you're fighting instinct the whole way. Instead, accept who you are. You're someone with a wide range of interests. That's not a flaw in the code. It's just how you're built. The goal isn't to suppress your other interests. The goal is to organize them in a way that actually builds something real. Step 2. Sort your interests into 3 distinct buckets. Get out a piece of paper. Do this for real. Write down everything you're interested in or want to explore. No filtering. No editing yourself. Now sort them. Bucket 1, the income engine. This is the one skill or interest with the most realistic path to paying your bills within the next 1 to 3 years. Not your biggest passion, not the thing that makes your heart flutter the most, the thing that can generate income. This might be something you're already competent at, writing, coding, editing, sales, marketing, something in that range. The criteria are simple. You're already decent at it. There's proven demand for it, and you don't actively dread doing it. That's your anchor skill, the one thing that gets top priority for the next year or two. Bucket 2, the soul work. These are the activities you pursue purely because they bring you alive. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's trail running, cooking, reading philosophy, playing music. The key distinction here is that you are not monetizing these. These are not side hustles. These are your hobbies, and hobbies are allowed to stay hobbies. The internet has convinced everyone that your passion should become your paycheck, but that's a fast way to destroy the things you actually love. Let some things exist just for you. Bucket 3, the waiting list. Everything else lands here. All the random interests you're curious about, but haven't had the bandwidth for. Learning a new language, picking up astronomy, diving into ancient philosophy, whatever it is. These don't get a never. They get a not right now. They'll still be waiting when you have more capacity. Step 3. Put serious weight behind bucket 1. This is the exact point where most multi-interest people derail. They try to spread energy evenly across everything. Divide by 5, divide by 7. But momentum doesn't work that way. Skill building doesn't work that way. For the next 6 to 12 months, your bucket 1 skill gets the overwhelming majority of your productive energy. Call it 80% or more. That doesn't mean 80% of every waking hour. It means when you sit down to work on your future, that's where you go. Say you have 2 hours of focused work time each day. Give 90 minutes to your income engine. Take actual courses, build real projects, create a portfolio, get in rooms with people already working in that space. Treat it like the thing that matters, because it does. This skill is what buys you freedom. Once it's generating consistent income, whether through freelancing, employment, or a small business, you gain options. Options are what let you pursue everything else later, from a position of stability rather than desperation. Step 4. Put your soul work in the calendar like a real appointment. Your bucket 2 activities don't get abandoned, but they also don't eat into your main working time. Schedule them literally. Sunday morning journaling, Wednesday evenings for your creative work, Friday nights for reading. Treat them like locked-in commitments, but also be clear on what they are. They're recovery. They keep you from burning out on the thing you're building. And here's something interesting. Once you stop pushing these activities to become something bigger, you actually enjoy them more deeply. You read because it feels good, not because you're secretly auditioning to become a thought leader. Step 5. Review and rotate. You're not locked into this structure permanently. Think of it as a current phase, not a life sentence. Once you've built real traction with your bucket 1 skill, once money is coming in, once there's some stability, you reassess. Maybe you shift your primary focus. Maybe your anchor skill becomes something you can maintain in less time, and you pull something off the waiting list in a bucket 1. Maybe 2 interests start combining in ways you didn't anticipate, creating something entirely new. The point is you're no longer trying to do everything simultaneously. You're building in a sequence that actually works. Why this approach actually holds up? Here's what shifts when you commit to this. First, the guilt disappears. You stop beating yourself up for not focusing because you're focused just on one main thing while the rest has a designated place. Second, you actually develop real skill. When one area gets 80% of your attention for 6 straight months, you go from curious about marketing to I can run paid campaigns that convert. That gap is the difference between dabbling and genuine capability. Third, you start building confidence. Each concrete win in your primary area proves to yourself that you can commit and follow through. That confidence doesn't stay contained, it bleeds outward. And fourth, the one that matters most, you create options. Skill creates options. Income creates options. Once you have both, you can engage with your other interests from a position of strength, not from a place of panic or external pressure. Let me be direct with you for a moment, because this is something most people won't say out loud. If you keep trying to chase every interest with equal energy, you'll wake up years from now still cycling through the same loop. Still curious about everything, skilled at nothing, still frustrated. I'm not saying this to be harsh. I'm saying it because I watched it nearly happen to me, and I've watched it fully happen to others. The people who seem to do everything, multiple businesses, varied skills, rich lives, they didn't start that way. They built one thing, got genuinely good at it, made money from it, then they expanded. That's the sequence. It looks like doing everything from the outside. On the inside, it was one thing at a time. You're not behind. You're not broken. But you do need to decide what gets your energy right now. Here's what you do after watching this. Pull out that paper. Create your 3 buckets. Be ruthlessly honest about what belongs where. Choose your bucket 1, your primary focus for the next 6 to 12 months. Not forever, just now. Then build your week around it. Block out time for the income engine. Schedule the soul work. Let everything else rest on the shelf. Then, and this is the hardest part, actually follow through. Not forever, just this week, then the week after, then the one after that. You don't need to have everything mapped out. You just need to stop trying to run in every direction at once. Your interests aren't going anywhere. They'll be right there when you're ready. But your time, your energy, and the window to build something that actually lasts, that's finite. So use it with intention.